The investment. That isn't the way to play it.
Why not?
Because it isn't the way to win.
Is there a way to win?
There's a way to lose more slowly.
In the 1940s, the last major philosophical movement took Europe by storm. Born out of the chaos of post-war France, existentialism was a major philosophical school rooted in questions surrounding concepts like existence and identity. Major figures like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus became celebrities in some circles. Their works became bestsellers, and they went on to do world tours. At the same time as the movement was developing in France, a unique genre was taking shape concurrently in the United States. It was a specific genre of crime fiction written by authors like James M. Cain and Raymond Chandler. They were dark and gritty stories of love and violence and crime. The genre seems out of place next to the plague or nausea, yet they're connected intrinsically. Sartre cited the works of James M. Cain as inspiration, and Camus purportedly was inspired to write A Stranger after reading The Postman Always Rings Twice. As a result, existentialism and film noir can be seen as intrinsically connected genres, borrowing elements from each of them and sharing a common outlook in many ways. The first existentialist monologue I want to have a look at is Out of the Past. The only combination more shocking than film noir and existential philosophy is existential philosophy, film noir, and love. In fact, Out of the Past can be effectively characterized as an exploration of existential love in the Kierkegaardian style. As a matter of fact, Kierkegaard's novel Either Or provides a great framework for understanding the existential nature of Out of the Past's romance.
I never saw her in the daytime. She seemed to live by night. What was left of the day went away like a pack of cigarettes you smoked.
In this film, Bailey occupies a very similar role to Johannes in the novel Either Or. Like Johannes, Jeff lives his life in the moment with a view of love that is deeply flawed. Johannes and Jeff both choose to live life in the aesthetic mode, one defined by personal fulfillment above all else. Bailey has based his happiness in this moment in time off of this girl. Much like Johannes, it is the feeling of love that rewards him, not the act of caring about another.
And then she'd come along like school was out. And everything else was just a stone you sailed at the sea.
Although debate rages among critics about whether or not Sunset Boulevard is a film noir, its inherent existential nature is not up for debate. A dark, moody story about interpersonal connections and dealing with the harsh realities of life, Sunset is full of existential themes. For one, the way death is treated is rather existential in nature, with Joe talking to the audience from beyond the grave through narration. His nihilism and view on death are apparent.
Well, this is where you came in. Back at that pool again. The one I always wanted. It's dawn.
It is only after his death that Joe's character reaches his existential height, ironically attaining his dreams only in death.
Ever so gently. Funny how gentle people get with you once you're dead.
In fact, this scene reads like an existential novel, with Joe able to witness and comment on his own death as well as his mortality. This, however, isn't it for existentialism in Sunset Boulevard. At this point, Norma Desmond has completely embraced her false reality.
Life, which can be strangely merciful, had taken pity on Norma Desmond. The dream she had clung to so desperately had enfolded her.
In fact, it is Norma Desmond's inability to deal with reality that is characteristic of a flawed way of thinking, according to existentialist thought. By denying reality, she is choosing to live unauthentically and therefore will always be out of reach of happiness. In her last moments, she chooses to embrace her fantasy, forgoing all concepts of reality alongside it.
I can't go on with the scene. I'm too happy. Mr. DeMille, do you mind if I say a few words? Thank you. just want to tell you all how happy I am to be back in the studio, making a picture again. You don't know how much I've missed all of you. And I promise you I'll never desert you again. Because after Salome, we'll make another picture and another picture. You see, this is my life. It always will be. There's nothing else. Just us. And the cameras. And those wonderful people out there in the dark.
This monologue serves as Desmond's final and most triumphant denial of reality. Norma Desmond made the final choice to live inauthentically. Contrary to what Joe said earlier, it seems life is punishing Norma Desmond. Existentialism didn't die with film noir. In fact, Blade Runner is an inherently existential film, borrowing from the long tradition established by past film noirs of treating its stories and its characters in an existential light. In fact, questions of identity and existence are central to the plot and themes of Blade Runner. Blade Runner follows Alan Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, as he sets out to track down 4 rogue replicants. Replicants are artificial humans with a built-in 4-year lifespan. This all poses a very important question about what the nature of humanity really is. For example, what makes one conscious, what makes one human, what makes one a truly existentially free being. Okay, so let's set the scene here. We see Deckard hanging off of the edge of a rooftop as Roy Batty overlooks. Although Batty's primary role in the film has been as an antagonist up to this point, this scene, through an existentialist viewing, allows for a more sympathetic portrayal of him. In fact, this moment demonstrates his empathy quite well, as he makes a choice in this moment to save Deckard out of his own free will. It's contradictory to Jean-Paul Sartre's view of artificial humans. According to Sartre, existence precedes essence. Humans are a product of their own free will and their lived experiences. Human beings are not created, therefore, according to Sartre, they are free to define their own existence. This, of course, is different from replicants. Replicants are a created being, and therefore their essence precedes their existence. They, therefore, cannot be intrinsically separated from their creator and are thus not truly existentially free beings. This, however, leaves one with an important question. If existence precedes essence, why did Batty choose to save Deckard? As you've probably guessed, the following monologue tells all.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die.
Therefore, it is Batty's lived experiences, his memories, that define him. In this moment, Batty becomes a truly free human being, able to make his own decisions, his essence, finally being transcended by his existence. In the final moments of this scene, Deckard looks on, his fear replaced by a newfound understanding and empathy